Yeah.
We're coming to you from the lands of the Kulin Nation. Frank Benici was the victim of a separate machete attack near the same shopping centre just months prior and is with us now. Frank, tell us about the attack on you.
Hi. My partner and I were just walking behind Northland Shopping Centre and copped a whole bunch of homophobic slurs. So we answered back to them. Then they just looked at each other, hooded up and approached us. And eventually they called out to a whole bunch of other people behind us and they were running towards us. And we thought we're going to get gay bashed in broad daylight. And when I turned to grab my stuff, they wielded a machete and sliced my arm.
They sliced your arm. How seriously were you injured?
Well, that's a scar there. I don't know if you can see, but look, it could have been a lot worse. Could have literally just struck me anywhere. It could have struck me on my chest, my back, whatever. Yeah. But it managed to strike my arm.
I'm sorry, mate. It must have been terrifying and horrible to experience. Do you know what happened to your attackers? Were they arrested?
Well, they were eventually caught. They were let out on bail. The 14-year-old, he got a $100 fine. That's his punishment. So, which I'm extremely frustrated and angry about. And I don't know how that can happen where someone can just carry weapons, regardless of their age, use them free willingly to complete strangers, and their punishment is a $100 fine. I mean, you can get caught smoking for 3 times that amount, I don't know. It's it's a joke. It's a slap in the face.
Frank, how did this attack change your life? How did it affect you?
I was just like, I guess, really recluse for a while, and then really angry. I guess you just go through the emotions of any trauma that happens. So I'm just trying to play catch up with my finances at the moment, really, and do all my rehab and things like that.
Were you surprised when you heard that there was another attack at this shopping centre?
No, I just thought, I was just like, I'm not surprised. It's all just laughable. And to hear that they were under 18, they're all teenagers, I'm just like, well, the government's not going to do anything. They'll just get slapped with more $100 fines and they'll just find someone else to pass their weapons on. I just think it's all just one big joke. I think Victoria's laws is one big massive joke and the victims will remain victims.
Frank, the government seems more concerned about the sale of machetes rather than the people possessing them and wandering around the streets and shopping centres with these things, tucked in their jackets. Do you think what the Premier announced today is going to make you feel safer?
No, because weapons are everywhere. So, like when they caught these kids, when they caught these teenagers, they didn't find the weapon that I got assaulted with, but in their homes they found more than 30 weapons and they confiscated them. But that's not going to stop them from getting more. I think Queensland's got it right. Since 1st of December, they put in really hard laws of if you're doing an adult crime, you're going to be doing adult time, basically. And I think that's, I praise Queensland for taking that stance because everyone should be able to walk around freely. Do we have to wait for a minister or a police officer or a justice of the peace or someone to get attacked by these kids for the laws to change and be more stern and serious and stop treating them as kids because they're not kids. They're committing crimes, and if you're committing a crime, you're a criminal. So stop treating them as little babies or little kids. They are criminals.
Frank, you've been through something really horrible. Clearly there's a physical recovery as well that you're going through, as well as a psychological one. All the best with all of that, mate, and thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much.
Very brave of Frank to speak out.
Yeah.
He's got to live and work in that community. This sales ban is a joke and it's not going to work. Jacinda Allen, the Premier, announced it today. Happened from midday Wednesday. You can buy machetes online anywhere. Yep. We're the only state that's going to do it, so you can simply drive over the border into New South Wales and buy one. What we need to...
Or you don't get a machete, you get something else.
Yeah,
exactly. Correct, a hammer or a saw or whatever. Yeah. We've got to crack down on possession. That, as Frank said, that law where you're going to be fined a considerable amount of money and you're going to perhaps serve time in jail is not going to come in until September 1. Why? Why does it take until September to change the law that if you're wandering around the streets with a machete in your hand, that you're not more harshly treated? I just don't get that. I don't know what the delay is.
In your opinion, should people feel safer with these kind of, I mean, I'll call them a law, but...
No, I mean, they're running down the middle of Chapel Street, 100 yards from here.
But why in Victoria? I mean, seeing this a lot in Victoria over the last kind of year, Melbourne specifically. Why is it kind of happening here? Why is it focused
We have
here?
we have a teen crime crisis. I don't know why it's just Melbourne, but it's worse here. Home invasions, car theft, carjackings, and they're arming themselves with machetes.
It's not just Melbourne, though. That's the thing.
No, it is
it's
other
happening.
places.
It's happening, yeah. But the problem is that there are enormous social problems that sit beneath every youth crime crisis. And so this is why it gets really difficult, because unless you've done the work on that, you're not going to solve the problem. And I well understand people, especially if they've been victims or they've been terrified by this, wanting, a hard law and order response. But that might make you feel good. It doesn't actually fix the problem long term. And so you've actually got to get to the heart of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we've actually been thinking about that. I don't know that government... Maybe I'm being harsh, but I don't think the government has actually been paying attention to the underlying stuff, which is the only way you will respond meaningfully.
Okay, we've got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Coming up, how this fitness influencer and ultra-marathon runner has fans asking, is he breaking rules or records? Plus, the ban on dogs and the Aussies defying it. You're watching The Project.